Welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Goose, where we talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating. Yes, I am the Goose. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. That means the end is near with this nonsense sickness that's been going around. I hope your family and you are very healthy and getting through this just fine. We are very blessed here in our neck of the woods and looking forward to getting back to life as usual, okay? Now, today, back to boxing and some really interesting stuff. And we're also going to talk about our new Facebook page, okay? Stick around for that. Now let's talk about our two favorite fighters, or at least one of them is my favorite, Manny Pacquiao, and the other, Floyd Mayweather Jr., okay? Now, there's a reason I want to talk about Floyd and Manny. You know, like you, I was disappointed by their first mega fight back in, 2015? It was just a big letdown, you know, and been longing to see a rematch. And but you know, there's so many hoops to jump through for these guys. So anyhow, will Pacquiao fight Mayweather again? That's the question. My answer, yeah, I think it will. It's all up to Floyd, of course. Okay, so first of all, when are they going to fight? Not this summer. Pacquiao will fight again this summer. I am convinced, I could be wrong, it's happened before, but I'm convinced he's going to fight Terence Crawford of Top Rank because Bob Arum, the Top Rank big dog, has talked about it, saying they're in tentative talks. And a lot of YouTubers have been echoing that, saying it's probably going to happen. And Pacquiao himself, I think, is the one who started the talk with Bob Arum. So we'll see what happens. Now, the other title holder besides Pacquiao in the welterweight division, the other title holder besides Pacquiao and Terence Crawford is Errol Spence Jr. And Spence, like Crawford, undefeated, a champion, great fighter, but his future in boxing is still up in the air as far as I'm concerned. He had that horrific car crash back in October. And when I say horrific, I mean life-threatening. He was speeding, driving like a drunken maniac, and he was drunk and driving like a maniac in his Ferrari convertible, and it flipped over a gazillion times. It threw him out of the car. And somehow, and I still don't believe this, he escaped with some broken teeth and maybe some facial injuries. I think there's more to it than that. And we've talked about it at length in the past. I'll just remind you of this. I have been on the receiving end of a horrible injury going on 15 years now. And by the grace of God, I'm healthy. But I know firsthand it's not just physical, it's mental. The damage and the hurdles you need to overcome. You know, you get tossed out of a car. If you're lucky enough to live, you are going to be faced with challenges for the rest of your life. Hopefully, that's not the case with Errol Spence Jr. I wish him nothing but the best. I respect him as a boxer, but I'm not putting him on the Pacquiao list for prospective opponents. I think it's going to be Terence Crawford. Anyhow, I think if Pacquiao fights Crawford and beats him, that puts Pacquiao another level up, and as if he hasn't already achieved more than any other boxer in history. 8 different titles in 8 different weight divisions, and 5 different divisions. I forget the term now. See, there's the damage. At any rate, he's done more than any boxer ever. And if he beats, especially at the age of 41, if he beats Terence Crawford, that'll put him in the stratosphere. Nobody's ever approached that level ever. And guess we would all appreciate and respect that. Well, I can't say all of us. One person, it will drive him up the wall, and that's Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yeah, Floyd beat Pacquiao 5 years ago. Yeah, I know. But it was, I don't want to say a tainted victory. It was ugly, and for several reasons. Well, I'll give you the reasons now. Mayweather he was caught taking an illegal IV the night before the fight. Plus, he received shots for his brittle hands, and Pacquiao was not allowed to take a shot to relieve the pain in his injured shoulder. And, even with all that, there are a lot of people think that Pacquiao still won the fight. I'm not one of them. I think Mayweather won, but by the skin of his teeth. But you know what I mean? It was just everybody, even those who are Mayweather fans, walked away saying, you know what, that was not money well spent. I want to see that again, but not with all the garbage attached to it. Here is the mindset of Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's a different animal, as you all know. Great boxer, one of the greatest ever. We can't deny that. 50-0, but he is. I hate to sound disrespectful because I do respect Floyd, at least as a boxer. He is, in my opinion, an egomaniac, and maybe even a megalomaniac. You know what that is? I just learned this, but I really believe this. First of all, an egomaniac is one who's they have a not a logical view of their own greatness. They think they're just the greatest ever, the greatest human being ever, and egomaniac thinks they're not appreciated. Well, that's Floyd. Plus, he is, again, just my opinion, a layman's opinion, he is a megalomaniac. That is a person who's obsessed with their own power. Now, if you know anything about Floyd, all this is true. Floyd has to call the shots. And with that first Pacquiao fight, he called all the shots. It was the judge, the location of the fight, the drug testing organization that was in charge. He had a little too much power. And you know what? Why he had that much power? Because Manny wanted a piece of him that badly. He caved in. His team, Bob Arum, said, okay. We just want this fight that badly. Whatever you want, Floyd. Well, that was not the best idea. And when Floyd calls all the shots, Floyd gets what he wants, and he got the victory. That's what he wanted. So he is, ever since he retired, which is 2 years ago, actually longer than that, because his last fight was against some kickboxer from Japan, some 18-year-old kid. That was just a joke. The fight before that was Conor McGregor, and that was his first boxing match, so that was a joke. So, his last real fight was the one after Pacquiao when he beat Andre Berto. So, Floyd's been retired for several years now. But one thing that has not changed with Floyd, he doesn't like to see Pacquiao get all this attention, this adoration. Pacquiao's the greatest. I think he is. But Floyd does not like to hear that. So he really wants to get back in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, as it is today. But if Pacquiao fights Terrence Crawford and beats him, Floyd's going to need medicine. He won't be able to handle that. And I really think that with a win over Crawford, Floyd is going to say, okay, let's do this. Now, they have negotiated, just to refresh your memory, Pacquiao and Mayweather have negotiated over the last few years for a rematch, but Pacquiao has said, no, Floyd makes too many demands. There again, the megalomaniac. He wants the power. He wants to make all the decisions. He wants his way, or it's not going to happen. And that was the case for the first fight, and guess what? It's probably going to be the case for the second fight too. I really think it's going to happen though. Just want to let you know, in our next video, which is coming pretty soon, we're going to talk about the great Filipino fighters, and Pacquiao is not the only one. There are many Filipino fighters who have won world titles in different weight divisions. As of right now, there are 3 current world title holders from the Philippines, and those of you boxing fans who really follow the sport know these names. There's Pedro Taduran, who is a minimum weight, they say, champion, IBF champion. There's John Real Casimiro, who we've heard a lot about. He's a WBO bantamweight champion. And another great fighter from the Philippines. You may not, only those who really follow Filipino fighting know this name, but you should be aware of this guy. Jerwin Ancajas, who is not just the IBF super flyweight champion, he's defended his title 8 times. He's the king. He's the king. So people are wondering, oh, who's going to be the next Manny Pacquiao, if you will? Well, we all have our opinions, and we'll break it down during our next show. I'll let you know who I think the great fighters or the greatest Filipino fighter besides Pacquiao is. It's an interesting topic. I got some great information for you, so stick around for our next show. All right, that's it for this edition of Coffee with a Goose. Thank you so much for watching. Happy to be back in the saddle again. Back in the saddle. Okay, I won't do Gene Autry for you. But was that Gene Autry or was that Roy Rogers? Okay, never mind. I'm not no. Anyhow, good to get back in. It's not before mine. Anyhow, good to be back in the groove again. And again, hope you and your family are well and healthy, and everything's going to get back to normal soon. Thank you so much for your subscribers. The number keeps climbing. We're close to 45,000 now. So looking forward to more great shows. You guys take care, all right?